Hey everyone, welcome back. Damasha J here, getting ready to plant my final one from my box that I just got from Succulents Box. And it is actually a replacement. This right here is the Crassula Red Pagoda or Shark's Tooth. Now I ordered this one maybe the end of July. As a bare root, which means that it didn't come in a pot like this one did. This one came in a pot, and like the other ones that I had earlier. It came, wrapped up, a little bit of soil around it, very well. It looked just like this, and I was like, okay, great, perfect. I didn't water it again, put it into one of my pots that already had some soil in it, and, went ahead, potted him. He looked great. Literally the next day he was starting to faint. I was like, oh, I don't understand. I didn't water him. And in 2 days he was dead. I went ahead and, sent pictures to, Succulent Box, as he was dying. It was like, hey, is there anything I can do? And they pretty much were like, no, we're going to send you a replacement. And so, I had already ordered some of the ones that I had already planted and had ordered the Succulents Box subscription from them in the clay pots. So they went ahead and replaced him for me and added him on here free of charge, of course. And honestly, I think they gave me, oh no, I think it's a 2-inch, but it just seems so much bigger than these 2-inch ones. Anyway, so here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and pot him. So, as I promised, I don't have any dirt in this one. All the other ones I was potting in ones that already had dirt because they had previous plants in there that got upgraded to bigger pots. So I'm going to show you how I do this. So as you've been seeing me, I've been using the spoon when I'm in here maneuvering stuff. And now I'm going to use the trawl. And this is pretty much the only time I use this little guy. So what I'm going to do is put one thing here and the other one here. Okay. And this right here is my mix that I use. I use the Miracle Grow Cactus, Palm, and Citrus Potting Mix. The most important thing about this is it's fast draining. Now, the ones that I had originally, before I started getting this potting soil, I just used indoor potting mix. Now, if you do that, that's fine. Get the indoor potting mix, though. Don't get anything else. It has to be for indoor plants, period. Because it still drains pretty fast, and it doesn't really hold in a lot of the extra moisture that can cause root rot, period. All right, so this is what I use. And that's what it looks like. Very gritty, sandy, rocky, all that fun stuff. All right, so go back. All right, so this is pretty much the only time you're going to see me using this trawl to do anything with these size plants. I have a string of pearls and a string of dolphins that I have in a large pot, and that's what I use this guy for. Also, I use this guy for dealing with my climbing aloe, and for dealing with my jade, my Crassula ovitata money plant. Okay, so you saw this is a 4-inch clay pot, and I got one nice sizable goop of it, and boom, we're good. All right, so that's all I'm going to use the trawl for. So I'm going to move him out of my sink. All right. So now I've got my spoon, my handy dandy spoon, and I'm going to make myself a hole. All right. I'm actually going to probably pull out a little bit because there's a lot of actual soil in this pot that they gave me. So I'm pretty much just going to put a nice hole in the middle and do that, okay? So now I'm going to take him, you see, all out of here. All right. And again, like every other one, I shake off any of the excess dirt. Just gently shake it into my pot because, you know, they have, you know, their own little cactus mix that they have here. It's very gritty. As you can see, it has, you know, the stones in here and everything else, which is what you really want. You want anything that's going to be really fast draining and give you, you know, air and space around your roots. All right. So you're going to shake that in there as much of it as you can. And then very gently, and again, this is why I wear gloves, because I like to be able to handle my plants and not really put too much damage on them. You can do this with hands, but I don't like my hands being super dirty. It's the one girly thing I have about me. All right. So again, here are the roots and everything. For all of my plants that I get from places, I like to kind of look at them and see if they're good. Make sure they're not black or anything. They don't have any issues or problems, and that the roots are nice and white. They're not black or anything else. And so this is a very nice root. So now I'm going to move my pot back so you can see what I'm doing. I got him in one hand, and I'm going to go ahead and dig a hole and put him deep in this pot, okay? And then as I'm doing that, I'm going to manhandle him a little bit and take from my other pot that's holding the dirt that I took out, and I'm just going to fill him in. So again, you don't have to do any of this extra stuff. You can just let him settle in here. But I like him to be deeply in the dirt. So I do the little hole. And then as I do that, I add extra dirt. And as I'm adding extra dirt, I kind of press that dirt down. That way, you know, I can get my plant in there and secure it in there. Really good. All right. The one thing I forgot to do was to add my Miracle Grow that I said I was going to add. I always usually add this in the dirt and mix it up. But because I didn't do it this time, I'm going to do a quick way. So I pour a little bit of in there because it's a small plant. I don't need that much. And I just kind of sprinkle it in and around the dirt. Now, if I was going to mix it up beforehand, I would, you know, probably just do a quick pour and then mix it into the dirt really well. Kind of, you know, honestly, like you're mixing up a pancake batter or anything else. You know, and just put it in there. So again, here I go, putting some more dirt in here, lifting him up, and then kind of getting up in there and putting him in there. Now, you may lose some of those ones on the bottom. As you saw, some of the ones on the bottom were, you know, kind of raggedy and facing the other way, and that's honestly okay. You just don't want to affect too much of the other stuff. You don't want to affect the root system, and you don't want to really, you know, have an issue with, you know, the top parts and the stems. But other than that, you should be good. So go ahead, pour that in there, pour that in there. And, sorry. I forgot I had him right on the edge there. Sorry, guys. All right. And kind of just get him in there and press down, because I want him to be kind of nice and rooted in here. All right. So the thing about the Crassulas is, again, they're one of those ones that likes to be in a smaller pot, and they like to be what's called root bound. So they like to be in a smaller pot that kind of crunches their roots together. And I'll, to each their own. It's a plant. It has its own little thing. I mean, I personally don't like people all up on me, but if, he likes that, that's all him. All right. And then, once I think he's, facing the way I want to, and he's in there kind of how I want him to be, I'll stop adding dirt. I just want him to, be kind of secure in the dirt, so that after I do give him a little bit of water and he chooses to stand up, he doesn't have an issue because he doesn't have enough soil. All right. And so here we go. Kind of like you trying to stand up on a ledge, and all of a sudden, crap, I don't have any more ledge. Now what? All right. So then you can clean them up a little bit. Me, since I have a spoon here, I just use the end of the spoon to get, the big pieces out of there. And then, if you're really picky about it, you get, the good old brush. Again, I'm a Mary Kay lady. So I have a mineral powder brush. Again, you can use a mineral powder brush. You can use anything else. But whatever one that you use, make sure it has some nice, soft bristles. All right. All right. And, get the little excess dirt off of them. And there you go. All right. And he is in there. And that is the Crassula Red Pagoda, or shark's tooth, period. All right. Now, I'm going to show you what he's supposed to look like. There you go. And again, here is the Crassula Red Pagoda shark tooth. All right. And, that's how much he is if you want him. He's expensive. That's why it hurt my feelings. All right, so, that's the top view. So this is what he's supposed to look like. And let me go ahead and get this nice and big for you guys. All right, this is what he's supposed to look like. Best color, his tips are supposed to be nice and red. And he's going to fan out and be really cute. He's going to be a little bit less red if he gets, enough light and he's not stressed. Now, your succulents will turn red in some certain colors when they are stressed. Now, you can, gently stress things so that they have the nice light color. Or you can super stress things, and then, you know what happens when things get stressed out. They eventually die, right? So, and then there he is with some kids, full sun, and then he's got those nice little tiny things. But this is going to be my goal right here. Oops, go back. Right there is my goal. So we'll see what happens as I give him, light, water, and friends to deal with. But again, he's a full sun, partial shade. And with most of my Crassulas, they are, zone 9 through 11. So according to the map, they are more hot weather ones. So that means that you don't leave them outside. These guys aren't going to go outside. He'll be pot bound. 1 year, whenever I decide to actually move to Aruba, maybe he'll be okay. But right now, that's not going to happen. All right, so that is the Red Pagoda. Again, he's available at Succulents Box. He was my replacement for one that I'd gotten, and you know, he didn't look like that, but I got him bare root, and it just didn't work out for me. So now I know whenever I get stuff, it's not going to be bare root anymore. All right. So here he is in his pot. Again, I'm going to let him settle into his pot first. And this is a 4-inch pot. I'm probably going to leave him in this 4-inch pot until maybe the January, unless he really gets to growing a lot. Probably January, maybe spring, and then I'll probably move him to this is a 4-inch pot, so I'll probably move him to the 6-inch pot, which is this guy. And by then, these guys should most likely be moving to a bigger pot or outside. So he'll probably just move to that pot. And, you know, go from there. I still have 1 pot left, and, you know, I got this extra dirt. So what do you do with the extra dirt, Damasha? I put it back in my bag.